Hey there! In today's video, we're going over the 2015-2016 TMSCA General Math Test number 1. Let's do it.
Next, 41. X squared plus 3x minus 28 divided by x plus 7 equals what? Alright, so to solve this problem, we have to first see what we have. So we have x squared plus 3x minus 28 divided by x plus 7. Alright, the very easy way to solve this problem is we ignore this in the middle. So this 3x, we just ignore it for now. And we see 7 times what gets us negative 28, and x times what gets us x squared. Well, x times x gets us x squared, so we know that there's an x. And 7 times negative 4 gets us negative 28. So it's a negative 4. So now we're left with x minus 4, and that's your answer. Next, calculate the slope of the line with the equation 2x minus 32y equals 16. Alright, so 2x minus 32y equals 16. So this is in the form standard form. We need to bring it to slope-intercept form, which is this. Y equals mx plus b. So we're trying to bring it into this form. That way we can just take m as our slope. So to do that, we first have to subtract x from both sides of this equation. So negative 2x, negative 2x. So that becomes negative 32y is equal to negative 2x plus 16, or 16 minus 2x. It doesn't really matter. Next, we need to get rid of this negative 32 before the y. So we can divide this entire equation by negative 32. Alright, so negative 32, so that cancels out this coefficient in front of the y. Then negative 2 divided by negative 32. That is just 1 over 16. And finally, the 16 over negative 32 is just negative 1/2. So our new equation becomes y equals 1/16 x minus 1/2. And now we can see that this 1/16 is our m value, meaning that is our slope. And that's your answer. Next, if g of x is equal to 11x minus 5, find g of x plus 1. Alright, so I actually have a full video on problems like this, which will be pinned at the pin card at the top. But let's continue with this problem. So if g of x is equal to 11x minus 5, find gx plus 1. So all we have to do is we have to substitute x plus 1 in for x in this equation. So our new equation becomes 11 times x plus 1 minus 5. Alright, so now we can solve. So we can distribute this 11 into this x plus 1 to make it 11x plus 11 minus 5. 11 minus 5 is just 6, and then we have 11x. So we get 11x plus 6, and that's your answer. Next, what are the coordinates of the vertex of the quadratic equation 4x equals negative x squared plus 3? Alright, so we have the equation 4x equals negative x squared plus 3. Okay, so we can first bring all of these to one side of the equation. So we can add x squared to both sides. And we can subtract 3 from both sides. So this now becomes x squared plus 4x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now we can solve this easier. So this is a quadratic equation, meaning when you write it on a graph, it becomes a parabola. So parabola is always symmetrical, meaning it can be split down the middle by a line. That line is called your axis of symmetry. And the point where it's intersection in the middle, that is called your vertex. So that's what we're trying to find in this problem. So for that, we first need to find the axis of symmetry. So the formula for that is negative b over 2a. Your b value is the coefficient for the second term, and your a value is the coefficient for the first term. So in this case, that's 4 for b and 1 for a. So now we can refill this as negative 4 over 2. That gets us negative 2. Alright, so that's our axis of symmetry. So to find the vertex, we need to we actually need to substitute this axis of symmetry back into this equation. But before we do that, let's fill out our coordinate. So to write this as a vertex, we need to write it as a coordinate. So negative 2 is our x value. Alright, now we can substitute it into this equation. So that becomes negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 minus 3. Alright, so negative 2 squared, that's just 4. 4 times negative 2, that's just negative 8, and minus 3. So that becomes negative 7. And we can put that right here. So we get -2, -7, and that's your answer. Next, to convert a radian measure to a degree measure, you must multiply by which of the following? Alright, this is just testing your knowledge. So to convert radians to degrees, all you have to multiply it by is 180 divided by pi. And that's your answer. Next, 46. Alright, so they're giving us this matrix right here, and they're asking us to solve it. Alright, so we have -5, -9, 8, -11 in this bracket, minus 7, -7, 9, and 9. Alright, so in these type of problems, all that matters is the position of the numbers. So if you can say that this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D, and this is A, B, C, D. So if you use this rule, you can count each of these as their own equation and solve for all of them. So we're just looking for, in the answer, the A value, the B value, the C value, and the D value. Okay, so the A value, that's just -5 minus 7. So -5 minus 7 is -12. -9 minus 9 is just -18. Next, 8 minus -7. That is just 8 plus 7 because negative and negative cancel. So that becomes 15. Next, -11 minus 9. That is just -20. And that's your answer. Next, 5 more than the x-coordinate of the solution of the system of linear equations below is equal to blank. Alright, so we have this system of equations. 3x plus y is equal to 18 and -2x minus y equals 12. Alright, so we're solving for the x value, so we want to cancel out the y values. So we can do this by just adding this equation to the bottom equation. So we can cancel these out, and this becomes x equals 30. Alright, and all we have to do now is add 5. And that's 35. And that's your answer. Next, 2 power 6 equals 64 can be written as which of the following? Alright, so this is called a logarithmic problem. So all you're trying to do is you're just trying to convert this, which is 2 power 6 equals 64, into terms of log. So the way you do that is you first take the power. So in this case, that's 6, the exponent. And you're going to set that as the other side of the equal sign. Next, you have the log over here. And this number that's down here, that's going to be your base number, which is the 2. And finally, this number which goes right here, that's going to be what your thing is equal to. So 64. So in the end, you get log 2 64 equals 6. And that's your answer. Next, find the length of m in the picture below. Alright, so to solve this problem, it's actually very, very simple. So there's two lines here. We have this line that has the 2 and the 14, and we have this line that has the m and the 4. So the way we solve for m is we can know that 14 and 2, whatever they multiply to, is the same as what 4 and m multiply to. So we can say that 4m is equal to 2 times 14. 2 times 14, that's just 28, which means 4m equals 28. Now we can divide out the 4 and we get m equals 7, and that's your answer. Next, simplify the following. Alright, so we're given m power 14 times n power -2 over m squared times m to the power of 2 times n power -2 squared. Alright, so we could first simplify the bottom. So we can put this exponent into both by multiplying it. So that becomes m power 4 and n power -4. And that is multiplied by m squared. Now when you're multiplying the exponent, it's not multiplying the exponent so that this one would become 8 and -8. You're adding the exponents. So now this becomes m power 6, and you can't do the same thing with the n because you can't multiply the m and the n since they're different terms. So you have n power 6 and n power -4 on the bottom. So now we can rewrite this as m power 14, n power -2, m power 6, n power -4. Now it's really easy to solve. So when you have a problem like this, all you have to do is subtract the bottom exponent from the top exponent. So now this becomes m power 8 because 14 minus 6 is 8. And this becomes 2 because negative 2 minus negative 4 becomes negative 2 plus 4, which is 2. So now we're left with m power 8 and n power 2. And that's your answer. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to show your support. These videos take a lot of effort to make, and I would really appreciate it.